The Ram Temple in India is officially open. Built on the site of a centuries-old mosque destroyed by a Hindu mob, the move is denounced by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation as an attempt at obliterating Islamic landmarks. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi says its inauguration marks a new era for India. I'm Jafar Hasnan, and today's newsmaker is India's Ram Temple. The demolition of the historic Babri Mosque by Hindu hardliners in 1992 was initially condemned by India's politicians, but sentiments changed after the Supreme Court in 2019 ruled in favor of Hindus building the Ram Temple on the site. Muslims have been given a separate area near the temple to build a mosque, but is it a win-win for everyone? Let's have a look.
After centuries of unprecedented patience, countless sacrifices and penance, our Lord Ram has arrived.
Celebration at the formal opening of a Hindu temple built on a site steeped in centuries of history and controversy in Ayodhya in India. Saying the event signals the dawn of a new era, Prime Minister Narendra Modi sees this as a fulfilment of a long-cherished dream by many Hindus who believe the site is the birthplace of Lord Ram. But for many Muslims, it's a painful reminder of the past.
For our Hindu brothers, it's a good day. But what about us? Those of us who were ruined? Of course, we will be in pain. This day causes us to remember our fathers who were killed, and the demolition of our mosque too.
It's been more than 3 decades since the Babri Mosque was demolished by Hindu mobs, and nearly 2,000 people, mostly Muslims, died in the ensuing riots in 1992. The courts acquitted those involved in the demolition, and no appeal was filed. In 2019, the Supreme Court gave the green light for the temple to be constructed. This has prompted legal action against other historic mosques in the hope of a similar outcome.
The representation of Lord Ram is breathtakingly beautiful. The feeling inside the temple is very divine. If you are a true Sanatani, you'll have tears in your eyes, because that structure represents the 500-year-long struggle of Hindutva. Devotees inside are hugging the temple walls and crying.
However, the event has sparked renewed controversy, with Modi being accused of using it for political gain to secure victory in the upcoming elections and to advance his Hindu nationalist agenda in a country deemed to be secular.
As a Hindu,
if the PM comes as a Hindu, we don't have any problem. But if he is coming in his role as Prime Minister, then we have objections. He had said to build the masjid. He should also lay the foundation stone for the mosque. But it is clear that he is coming to the temple with an eye on winning the 2024 elections.
While many may feel a sense of community through religion, for some it represents a source of strife, leading to conflicts like this, the effects of which last long after they're gone.
Joining me now from Kolkata, a state executive member of India's ruling BJP, Shishir Bajoria. From Mumbai, spokesperson of the All India Council for Unity of Muslims Party, Waris Pathan. And from Noida, we have Ashutosh. He's the co-founder of the online news portal Satya Hindi. Gentlemen, great to have you here with us on the Newsmakers. Now, Shishir, before discussing the temple's inauguration, let me discuss the past with you. Now, you represent a political party, so let me ask you, as a member of the ruling BJP, do you condemn the demolition of the Babri Mosque in 1992?
First of all, festive greetings from Bharat. This is a festive season between 15th of Jan and 26th of Jan. To answer your question, the demolition was of a disputed structure. It was not a mosque. And any structure can be demolished. And we have gone through that. So I'm wondering, why are we starting with this question? If you start with this question, would you like to step back about the demolition of the temple which existed before the mosque came up in 1528 by Babur.
So the reason I started with this question is because I want to understand where you stand amid all of this, considering the Supreme Court called the demolition an egregious violation of the rule of law. How do you reconcile this with your support for the temple built on the site of Babri Mosque?
Well, first of all, the Supreme Court, in its judgment, just didn't stop there. They finalized their order about the ownership of the land and handed over the land to the temple trust, and also ordered that a separate mosque be built at another site 25 kilometers away from this. So why not we see the Supreme Court judgment in its totality and not just one line of the Supreme Court judgment?
Absolutely. Rest assured, I'm going to ask about the building of the mosque as well in this program, but I just want to make sure, do you condemn the demolition of Babri Mosque in 1992 by a Hindu mob?
As far as I'm concerned, this was a disputed structure. It was not a mosque.
Okay, so you don't condemn it as far as I understand. Now, Waris, moving forward, the 2019 Supreme Court verdict granted a separate land for the construction of a mosque, as Shishir also pointed out. Why do you think there has been a delay in this construction? Does it reflect broader societal or governmental challenges?
Well, Jafar, to begin with, let me tell you, 6 December 1992 was a black day in the democracy of our great country, India, where our Babri Masjid was demolished. I still say and reiterate that my faith, my belief, and my religion speaks that once a mosque, always a mosque, till the Qiyam. See, our mosque was already there. 500 years prayers were offered there. But all of a sudden, in the night of 23rd and 24th December, they said that the idols have emerged. Then an order was passed. The prayers were stopped. Then we all saw what happened. The matter went to the court. The courts passed an order. The Supreme Court gave an order. And the Supreme Court in their order has clearly stated so that no temple was destroyed to build a mosque. They also stated that there is no evidence connect that the ASI says that some idols had emerged from that. And the Supreme Court also went ahead and said that the act of demolition of the Babri Mosque was a criminal act. People were arrested. They got acquitted, but the BJP government did not appeal against them. And now they are building, they have already built a temple. So I would rather say that you could not. There is no evidence. The Supreme Court directed them. And the entire nation accepted the verdict of the Supreme Court. But as I rightly said, Supreme Court is supreme but not infallible. And I don't say the Supreme Court's ex-retired Judge Justice J.S. Verma, he clearly said Supreme Court is supreme but not infallible. The judgment was passed on the basis of faith and not on the basis of any evidence. They did not have any evidence. Through a systematic conspiracy, our Babri Masjid was demolished on the 6th December 1992. And all the political parties involved, the so-called secular party, they opened the locks. Okay. And after that, we all saw what happened. And today we are facing this.
You have made your point. Waris, you have made your point. I want to put this to Shishir now. Shishir, you're part of the ruling BJP, and certainly what Waris said is shared by a significant portion of the Muslim society within India. How would you respond to his claims?
Well, first of all, I'm sure Mr. Pathan knows the history better than I do. It was in 1526 when Babur invaded India, and in 1528 when the temple was destroyed. And there's enough evidence about the existence of the temple as proven by a regional director north of Archaeological Survey of India, name happened to be K.K. Muhammad, who clearly in his report penned down the existence of remains of a temple. So a temple was historical facts. A temple was destroyed by the invaders, and we have a long history of invaders destroying
Shishir, if I may, with all due respect, if I may, I don't want to be disrespectful to the followers of Hinduism here, but saying what you just said as a fact might be a bit misleading, because the ASI 2003 evidence of a temple under the Babri Mosque does not enjoy consensus, even among members of the group that conducted that dig. Two archaeologists, if I may name them, Supriya Verma and Jaya Menon, They accuse the ASI of having preconceived notions ahead of the dig. In fact, underneath the Babri Masjid, according to them, there are actually older mosques.
So according to them, a mosque was destroyed and another mosque was made. Well, okay, it's not known to me. I would not venture any comment on that. But I'll go back to where I was. See, the fact is that the Supreme Court, based on these facts, gave a judgment. Now, if we say that Supreme Court is fallible, every human being is. But in a democracy, the democracy, according to me, stands on certain pillars. The pillars are judiciary, legislature, and the executive. Now, if we say that these pillars don't exist, then very soon we'll say democracy doesn't exist. But the fact remains that from 1949, to the best of my memory, there were no prayers in this structure. Mr. Pathan can tell me more about the faith. If there is a structure, if there's a temple where there's no prayers, if there's a mosque where there's no ibadat, is it still considered a temple or a mosque? Or is it just a structure?
Okay, fair point there. Waris, I'm going to come to you, but I want to bring in Ashutosh here. Ashutosh, how has the Ram Temple issue and its handling by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government affected India's secular fabric? Is India becoming some sort of non-secular state now?
I will not say that. I will not agree to that point. But yes, there has been a consistent attempt on the part of the BJP, led by RSS and Narendra Modi, to have a paradigm shift in Indian politics. And they have successfully experimented religion in Indian politics. So they are using religion in Indian politics, which is quite a new thing for Indian politics. In that sense, if we say that they are pursuing a politics which can damage India in the long run, because this is not what the freedom fighters of the country, when they formed the constitution in 26 January 1950, they had envisaged that India should be a secular country, and where the multiculturalism, the diversity should be respected. But somehow the BJP from the beginning itself has serious issues with the Indian constitution. They wanted a different kind of constitution, and they did not agree to what was said then. And I think they're still pursuing that. The problem with the BJP and the RSS is that they are using religion for the politics, and which is a dangerous thing for the Indian politics. I will still say that India is a secular country. It is governed by the secular tradition of the constitution, but there is an attempt to undermine that.
Okay, let me put it to Shishir. Shishir, is there an attempt from your party to undermine India's secularism?
No, not at all. But we must understand what the word secularism means and how did the word secularism enter our constitution. When the Constituent Assembly was debating on the constitution, they debated on the word secularism, and they found it was not really needed to be included. It is during the period which I call the dark period of Indian history, the period when there was emergency in our country between 1975 and 77, when Parliament was suspended, during what I call the eclipse period, when there was no Parliament, this word was brought into our constitution. That's a technical issue. But let me go back into the meaning of the word secularism. According to me, secularism is every religion is equal. Now, Sanatan, Hindu faith is, according to me, and I quote, and I'm in quoting Swami Vivekananda, the only religion which believes every other religion is true. So, if you really see, every Sanatani or Hindu is a true secularist, because every Sanatani believes in the truthfulness of every other religion. I don't know how many others can say this. Now, Ashutosh made a comment about BJP, and he clubs RSS. RSS does not run BJP in dragging this towards moving away from secularism. I'm sure he will remember the previous Prime Minister who made a very, very communal statement about the rights of a particular community over the natural resources of our country.
Ashutosh, I know you want to respond, but I have to go to Waris now. And Waris is sticking to the theme of secularism in India. The term secular was added to the preamble by the 42nd Constitution Amendment Act of 1976. It states that constitutionally, India is a secular country without any state religion. And it also says India shall accept all religions and not favor any particular religion. As part of the Muslim minority within India, do you think that certain religions within the country are being favored over others?
Well, as rightly said, that the Prime Minister of the country, Narendra Modi, always speaks about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and Sabka Vishwas. It's all together. But when it comes for original implementation, they don't tell what is the Vishwas gone. See, they don't, first of all, the BJP, the RSS, or the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, they don't believe the constitution of the country given to us by Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. They want to follow the constitution given to them by Golkar, who did not have any role to play in the democracy of in the independence of our great nation, India. Now they have come up with this. But when, if they believe in Sabka Saath, togetherness, secularism, pluralism, which is the main concept, Ganga, Jamuna, Tehzeebi, which is the main thing of our country, they don't follow that. They don't believe that. Since the BJP is coming to power, sir, let me tell you, they have straight away started hatred, nafrat, especially against one community, the minorities. Today, you see what is happening. The Ram temple has been already now inaugurated. Pran Prastha has been done. In Mumbai, I will tell you about where I live in Mumbai. Just for 15 kilometers away, there's a Mira Road, place called Mira Road. What is happening there? There's some people, they came out, not all, but there are a few in every community. They came out shouting Jai Shri Ram in the Muslim-dominated area. A scuffle took place between the two parties. And then what we see is the police coming, sitting there, and ultimately the Muslims' house have been demolished in Mira Road. So the police, what are they doing? The BJP leaders are issuing threats. We will kill them, we will use this kind of languages. We are 5%, but we are so many of them. So why is the Prime Minister silent now? When Prime Minister says that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, he should utter the word, he should stop such kind of statement being given by his party's leaders.
Right.
They are sitting MLAs.
Okay.
They are making provocative statements. That is why I say the BJP is playing the politics of polarization, playing the politics of majoritarian appeasement. Because prior to the election, they want to do this because they have failed in the.
Okay, you made your point, Waris. Shishir, surely you do condemn what Waris just said, that no one should be allowed to engage anyone in some sort of communal violence, and anyone who tries to force his or her religion upon others should be condemned.
I condemn it in every possible way. But according to me, what Mr. Pathan just said on the screen, he kind of twisted the facts. Permit me to use the word twisted. What happened in Mira Road? I don't live in Bombay, so he knows it better. Few people said Jai Shri Ram, and he even said, in a Muslim area, why do you say Jai Shri Ram? Where I live in Alipur, just 100 meters from me is a completely Muslim-dominated ward. When they have Qurbani, when they have their prayers, do we not very politely accept it? Or do we go on the rampage? We don't, sir. The whole country doesn't. What Mira Road saw, it's fortunate that in our country we don't see such things much. But what we saw was really bad. The way the cars were smashed. And when you talk about the police who came and the bulldozers, I think what was brought down were all the unlicensed structures. So do you say that the unlicensed structures should still continue?
Okay. Ashutosh, how do you respond to criticism that the BJP has politicized the Ram Temple issue, especially in the context of upcoming elections? Critics argue Prime Minister Modi converted a religious ceremony to a state ceremony by being there.
See, Zafar, I think earlier when Mr. Shishir Bajoria was speaking, I think he was mixing up the Hinduism with Hindutva. BJP is pursuing Hindutva, not Hinduism. Hindutva is a political ideology which uses religion. So let's not mix up Hinduism and Hindutva per se. Hinduism is a secular religion. It doesn't discriminate against anyone. But Hindutva pursues discriminatory politics, because secularism in India, for that matter, has 4 or 5 pillars. One pillar is there will be no state religion. Secondly, the state will not indulge in any kind of religious activity. The third, equidistance with all the religions. Fourth, every religion, there will be no discrimination against any religion, and every religion will have a right to propagate and preach. Now, the issue today is, which is very simple, that one religion has been patronized by the government, and the Prime Minister Modi and the BJP has no qualms about it. They openly do it. My question is that you inaugurate Ram Mandir, nobody has a problem with that. But will the Prime Minister go to a mosque and do the same thing? He will not do the same thing. Will he visit church and will do the same thing? He will not do that. So today, what is happening is that the Ram Mandir is being is not only made a bigger meta narrative for the 2024, but also a message to the minorities in the country that look, Hinduism is the dominant and the prominent religion in the country, and other religions have to accept that fact. And let me also quote what the Shishir Bajoria was talking about, that the second chief of the RSS, Mr. Golwalkar, in his book has categorically written that that the minorities has to live as a second-class citizen in the country at the wishes of the majority communities. Okay. This is exactly what the BJP is pursuing right now, and they are moving in that direction.
Okay, Shishir, yeah, I'm coming to you now. And I just wanted to clear some concerns that Ashutosh has raised here. Yeah, you can also respond to that, but let me raise my question here. So why don't you rest the concerns once and for all? You're a member of the ruling BJP. Tell me, do you support that Muslims within India should have the same rights as Hindus when it comes to religious freedom within the country?
100%. And this is what we practice. It is practiced not only just in words, but in letter and spirit. Now, let me respond very quickly to what Ashutosh said. First of all, I didn't quote Golwalkarji. Second, when he spoke about Prime Minister is also a person. The person is Narendra Modi ji. Narendra Modi ji also has a religion. And if he, in pursuit of his faith, went to Ayodhya for the Pran Pratishtha, what wrong did he do? Number one. Number two, what about him going to other places? He has gone to the to Babri Muslims congregation. He has, on 24th of December, this very year, he invited the Christian bishops in his own house to on Christmas Eve. Then let me also talk about this Pran Pratishtha on 22nd of January. All political parties were invited. They refused. In fact, the politicization was done by them. Just imagine a situation if they had all come. If they had all come, there would be no such issue. Number two, the president of All India Imam Association attended
I'm just assuming perhaps one of the reasons why they did not participate, because you pointed out in the beginning of this debate that that site was disputed. It was contentious. And certainly a lot of people want to stay away from things that are contentious.
The contentious site was gone. And the temple which has come up with a court order. So I'm sorry, Jafar, that contentious site is not an issue anymore. Let me tell you, the president of All India Imam Association attended it. What does that show? The petitioner in Supreme Court, Iqbal Ansari himself attended it. Many Muslims from every different sect of Islam, and by the way, India possibly is one of the very few countries, if not the only, which has every possible sect of Islam attending. Christians were also there. Where was it just dragged towards Hindu? Of course, it's a Hindu temple.
Okay. Now, Waris, as someone who's part of the Muslim minority within India, moving forward, what steps do you believe are needed to be taken to ensure both communal harmony and justice in the wake of Ram Temple's inauguration?
Well, the BJP does not want the nation to have a communal harmony. They want to polarize the situation prior to the 2024 elections, which are just 2 months away. That's why, as you rightly commented also, Jafar, that the entire religious event of this Pran Pratishtha was converted into a political event by the BJP and the Narendra Modi government. And I don't say that. 4 Shankaracharyas are the top people. They've got crores of followers behind them. The 4 Shankaracharyas, one of the Shankaracharyas said that Modi cannot go and do the Pran Pratishtha there. If he does go and do that, what are we going to do? Are we going to sit there and clap? The other one said that Modi cannot go there because as per the Hindu rituals, Mr. Bajoria would have been very comfortable by saying that you have to be a couple, you cannot go alone and do that. The other Shankaracharya said that it's an incomplete temple, you cannot go there and do that. But Everything was set aside and Modi went there and did the Pran. So here we say that what is there left? Now everything is being done by them. They don't believe the constitution. They don't follow any democracy. That is why we say that saying that they say sabka saath, sabka vikas, but the BJP only wants to prove that we are a majoritarian people and you are a minority. You are a second-class citizen of this country. They want to show the place to the Muslim people at large in the country.
Okay.
That is what they are trying to do.
Okay, Ashutosh, let me come to you. Same question. What do you think needs to be done by the BJP government at this point to promote religious harmony within India? Because in the end, we got to embrace the reality. There is a huge minority of Muslims within India, more than 200 million. So how do you think the BJP can balance it out?
Yeah, I think it's a very small step. The state has to step back. The government has to step back. They let the rule of law prevail in the country. If the state is giving patronage to a particular religion, that is Hinduism, and through them they are pursuing the politics of Hindutva, then the rule of law, the pursuance of rule of law becomes very difficult. Because today what is happening is that the state and the government is discriminatory, and the discrimination is made in the name of religion. So I'm saying if the Hindus are indulging into some kind of violence, the state should take action. If the Muslims are indulging in some kind of violence, are violating the rule of law, then the state should take action. But if the state is seen to be taking action only against one particular community and other particular community is emboldened and enhanced in the confidence that nothing will happen to them, whatever they feel like doing it, then there can be no harmony in the country. So the fact of the matter is, the state has to take a step back, and the state has to show that it has respect. It respects all the religion, whether it is Hinduism, Islam, or Christianity, or Judaism.
All right. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Shishir Bajoria, Waris, Ashutosh, I know it's a contentious topic, and I truly appreciate that we were able to have a discussion on this topic in a civilized way. Really appreciate your taking out the time, and thank you for watching. You can follow us on X and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Jafar Hassan. See you next time.